January 18, 2026, South China Sea, 0312 hours. The USS Tripoli cuts through dark water 280 nautical miles southwest of Taiwan. 20 F-35B Lightning II stealth fighters sit on her deck. She displaces 45,693 tons. She carries 1,800 Marines and sailors. And right now, she is the only significant American naval presence between China's 3 aircraft carriers and the first island chain. The media will call this a routine patrol. They are wrong. The Pentagon just downgraded China from America's #1 threat to #2. The USS Abraham Lincoln got pulled to the Middle East for Iran. The USS George Washington sits in port in Japan, and the USS Tripoli, an amphibious assault ship 1/3 the size of a supercarrier, now holds the line alone. 1 ship, 20 fighters, against the second most powerful navy on Earth. Today, we decode how the smallest aircraft carrier in the Pacific became the most important ship in the American arsenal. Here's the paradox. The Pentagon's 2026 National Defense Strategy dropped China to Priority 3. Homeland defense is Priority 1. The Western Hemisphere is Priority 2. The document says allies must shoulder their fair share of the burden. Translation: we're pulling back. But China operates 3 aircraft carriers, 78 destroyers, 49 frigates, and 79 submarines. They just conducted Justice Mission 2025, massive drills encircling Taiwan for 48 hours. And America's response is fewer ships? Conventional strategy says you need more force to deter a larger adversary. Carrier strike groups with 7,500 sailors, 90 aircraft, 5 escort ships. Old doctrine, presence equals power. New doctrine, distributed maritime operations. China's strategy relies on anti-access area denial. Use missiles and submarines to push American carriers beyond striking distance. Make the Pacific too dangerous for traditional naval power. For supercarriers, that works. A Nimitz-class carrier weighs 100,000 tons. It's a target visible from space. Chinese DF-21D ballistic missiles were designed to kill them. 1 carrier represents 5,000 lives and $13 billion. But the USS Tripoli is different. She's a Lightning carrier, an amphibious assault ship converted into a mobile F-35B strike platform. The question is, what can one ship do that a supercarrier cannot? The USS Tripoli, hull number LHA-7, commissioned July 15, 2020, home-ported in Sasebo, Japan. Length, 844 feet. Displacement, 45,693 tons, 1/3 the size of a Nimitz supercarrier. The revolution? No well deck. That space became expanded aviation facilities, more fuel, more ordnance, more hangar bays. Result: Tripoli carries 20 F-35B Lightning II fighters in surge operations. The USS Gerald R. Ford carries 75 aircraft with 4,500 crew and costs $13 billion. USS Tripoli carries 20 F-35Bs with 1,800 crew and costs $3.4 billion. Tripoli costs 26% what a Ford class costs, requires 40% of the crew, but delivers 70% of strike capability against hardened targets because every fighter is 5th-generation stealth. This is the efficiency revolution. The F-35B has a 20,000-pound thrust lift fan. It lands vertically. No catapult. No arresting gear. Combat radius 505 nautical miles. Maximum speed Mach 1.6. Internal weapons 2 2,000-pound JDAMs or 2 AMRAAMs. But the real weapon is sensors. The AN-APG-81 radar tracks 23 targets simultaneously while engaging 19. 6 infrared cameras provide 360-degree coverage. The pilot can see through the aircraft floor. When an F-35B launches from Tripoli, it becomes a flying sensor node sharing real-time targeting data with every asset in the battlesphere through Link 16. Networked warfare. One F-35B sees a target, Every ship, aircraft, submarine within 300 miles sees that target simultaneously. China's Liaoning operates J-15 fighters, 4th generation, no stealth. The J-15's radar cross-section, 10 to 15 square meters. The F-35B's, 0.0015 square meters. That's 10,000 times smaller. A Chinese destroyer detects a J-15 at 150 miles. It might detect an F-35B at 15 miles, maybe. By the time the radar operator realizes he's under attack, the JDAM is already in the air. That's not a fight, that's mathematics. The USS Tripoli operates with the cruiser USS Robert Smalls and destroyer USS Rafael Peralta. 3 ships, not 7 like a carrier strike group. The Robert Smalls carries Aegis Baseline 9, tracks 100 targets simultaneously, engages 18 at once. Rafael Peralta carries 96 vertical launch cells with Tomahawks and SM-2s. These 2 ships create an air defense bubble 250 nautical miles in diameter. F-35Bs extend offensive strike 500 miles beyond that. Total reach? 750 nautical miles. Position the USS Tripoli exactly 350 nautical miles southeast of Taiwan. This puts her outside optimal engagement envelope for Chinese submarines from Hainan, beyond primary patrol zones for Chinese destroyers, and positions F-35Bs within striking distance of any amphibious assault crossing the Taiwan Strait. Perfect geometry. Think from China's perspective. You blockade Taiwan. 20 F-35Bs strike your amphibious ships with JDAMs before your air defense knows they're airborne. You send fighters to intercept. By the time they arrive, F-35Bs already hit their targets and disappeared. You fire missiles at Tripoli. She's moving at 20 knots in a 250-mile Aegis bubble. The moment you activate radar, an F-35B drops a JDAM on your site. This is the strategic dilemma. Chinese satellites see Tripoli alone, vulnerable, but satellites don't see information dominance. Tripoli's F-35Bs share data with Virginia-class submarines below. They coordinate with P-8 Poseidons from Cadena. They link to Aegis destroyers patrolling the Philippine Sea. 1 ship on the surface, 20 platforms in the network. If this gave you new perspective, type distributed warfare in the comments. The Abraham Lincoln Carrier Strike Group requires 7,500 personnel, costs $21 million per day. The Tripoli Expeditionary Strike Group requires 3,800 personnel, costs $8 million per day. On January 16th, Pentagon pulled Abraham Lincoln to the Middle East. USS Tripoli was already there, already forward deployed. Japan hosts Tripoli. South Korea provides intelligence. China sees 1 ship. We see a coalition. On January 15th, China conducted drills near Taiwan. 47 aircraft, 12 warships. USS Tripoli tracked everything, transmitted data to Indo-Pacific Command, Japan, and Taiwan. China made a show of force. Tripoli made a capability demonstration. The Pentagon downgraded China because American strategy evolved to capability-based deterrence. We don't defeat China in combat. We make combat so costly that diplomacy becomes their only option. USS Tripoli makes combat costly. 20 F-35Bs, 300 Tomahawks, 2,000 Marines. That's not a ship. That's a strategic checkpoint. USS Tripoli gives the president the option to deter China without World War III, to defend Taiwan without invasion. Sleep well. The watch is set. 1,800 Americans stand between peace and conflict tonight.